Welcome back to Goshen Prepping, everybody. Listen, as a physician, there are so many pharmaceuticals over the counters that I would recommend. However, there's 5. These 5 over the counters you must keep on hand. And of course, our Ninja Prepper Binder, which I put out, has tons and tons of over-the-counter drugs that you want to keep in stock. But these 5 are huge. And as a physician, well, I'm not giving you medical advice, and I'm certainly not telling you what to take. Check with your own physician about that. But here's the thing. For me and my family, we have lots of OTCs, over-the-counter drugs. These 5 are must-haves. And you know what? I'm going to save the best for last. So let's jump right into it. I'm sure a lot of these you already have, but number 5, you want to make sure you have. Number 1, acetaminophen. That's the generic name, brand name. Of course, you know that as Tylenol. Pain and fever is the main thing for it, but it is not an anti-inflammatory, but just general pains. And it's actually considered safer than some of the other drugs too. And especially in kids when they have illness waves, etc., you want to have a lot of this. But again, just as antipyretic, it takes down the fever, is a huge thing because obviously fever in itself can cause problems like brain damage, especially in kids. Number 2, ibuprofen. Generic name is ibuprofen. Brand name you know as like Motrin or Advil. Yeah, this one's pain and inflammation. So if you have any type of inflammation, like an injury, for example, or arthritis, a strain, etc., this is gold. Over-the-counter ibuprofen is where it's at because think about it, when crap hits the fan, you're not going to be sitting around enjoying watching reruns of Gilligan's Island. No, you're going to be living Gilligan's Island trying to make radios out of coconuts. You're going to have a lot of pain, a lot of injuries, a lot of back pain, overuse, etc. Ibuprofen will keep you going so that way you get that coconut made and you can finally get rescued. Number 3, diphenhydramine, or you know as Benadryl. Now, allergic reactions, itching, even mild anaphylaxis support. Some people take it as a sleep aid, but I'll tell you for anaphylaxis or sleep aids, I wouldn't even touch it for that. We call this the poor man's allergy drug. Food allergies and insect stings, it works very, very, very well for that. But I want you to understand this is not a replacement for true anaphylaxis like an allergic reaction. It's all you have, that's all you have. And also, I wouldn't recommend it for a sleep aid either. In fact, studies show that people do use it for sleep aids. It doesn't quite work like it's supposed to. It will throw off your circadian rhythms and make it so, well, you're worse off in the long run. Number 4, aspirin. If you're like me, I grew up munching on aspirin all the time. It was like the drug that we were given as kids, and they even called it baby aspirin at the time. We don't call it that anymore ever because aspirin should never be given to kids, let alone babies. And adults, even not as a painkiller anymore either, because we call it a blood thinner, as you probably already know this. And so therefore, if you do have some type of suspected heart attack, that's where aspirin, especially chewable aspirin, can come into play. Chew on whatever you need to as far as the dosage goes. This video is not about dosages, by the way. You can research that yourself, or later on, maybe I'll make another page for the Prepper Binder with specific dosages. But check with your doctor on this. But having chewable aspirin in this situation can save your life if you're having some type of heart attack. And that's practically speaking all it's really good for. Number 5, which is the most important to have on stock because, well, I'll show you in a second. It literally is in the past been a killer. But diarrhea. So anti-diarrheal drugs such as loperamide and Imodium are worth their weight in gold. Diarrhea control. And you may think, well, hold on, a heart attack. Yeah, it could be a lot worse than that. But the amount of people who have heart attacks compared to, well, at least in the past, how many people have had diarrhea, it's night and day. Diarrhea has been a huge killer because it's dehydration, lose your electrolytes, and death. It's been a very common cause of death up until modern times. Listen, in the 1800s, diarrhea outbreaks from things like cholera, for example, had fatality rates of up to 50%. Could you imagine that? Today you have diarrhea and it's just irritating. Back then, 50%, up to 50% of people would die with it because they couldn't control it. And kids were hit the hardest. In some places like some cities, they saw up to a third of all the kids would die from diarrhea, from the illnesses from that, like cholera and stuff. Now today, in America, we don't worry about it so much, but worldwide, we're still looking at up to 1.5 million deaths from diarrhea. So why not in America? We have clean water. We have basic sanitation. And of course, we have a lot of oral rehydration through water, and electrolytes is the key. But you need to take this seriously because if crap hits the fan, guess what? You're not going to have clean water. You're not going to have basic sanitation. In fact, it may back up into your house again. And a lot of people don't stockpile electrolytes. So we're going to see in crap hits the fan situation, dehydration and diarrhea increasing with increasing death once again. So what do? Have lots of water filters, lots of things to make sure you have clean water. Make sure you have like the plugs to stop up your sewer system. I'll link one below, but this video, again, is not really about that specifically. People worry about this. If you live in the city, like us in the country, I have, like a leach field. You don't have to worry about that. But in the city, the pumps are going to stop in this situation, and the sewage is going to come back up into your house. That's horrible. So all that will pick up again. And you also have to have electrolytes, because not only do you need clean water, but you must take in electrolytes to be able to retain that water inside your system. I'll link some below for that as well. You got to make sure you have all this stuff, guys. Again, it's not about linking this stuff, but it is about making sure we're ready with these top 5. And of course, I will link below not only electrolytes, but the Ninja Prepper Binder too. Because again, there's a huge list of certain medications you'll want to take in there. And again, I will link on more videos with more sheets later on in the future too. So it's probably worth your wait to go ahead and pick that up if you haven't. But you want to make sure you have at least these 5 in hand, lots and lots of them. And that's what's nice, because you go to like Walmart, whatever, wherever you buy your over-the-counter drugs, they sell the massive bottles. I would just pick up a new massive bottle of one of these top 5 whenever you go shopping. And so that way you always have them on stock for the future. What would you add to this list? And I know there's lots of over-the-counters, isn't there? But these top 5, in my opinion, are the top 5 to have. But I'm sure there's other ones too that you would probably add to the list. But as a physician, I think these 5 are the top 5 you want to look at. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time.